blessed to be able to call you our friends, and it is a privilege for me to just congratulate you on this milestone and how exciting it is. I bet your cheeks are so sore from smiling, aren't they?
It is true.
And so, before we have dessert, which is in keeping with the theme and probably a little different to any dessert you might have ever had before. Well, the dessert itself is absolutely wonderful, baked by Penny. Wait till you see it. It's just stunning, and it tastes delicious. So if any of you would like to just say a few words to Margie and congratulate her, and she's just so wonderful. And I know you all think that. So anybody like to say a few words before we have dessert?
I would just like to thank Grandma Margie for being such a great grandma, and I look forward to her taking me and picking me up after school.
Nice start.
It's your turn, Jake.
Come on, Jake.
No, you just totally stole my phone.
He stole it from you. I know brothers do that, don't they? Oh, goodness me. Dana.
Margie, you have touched the lives of more people than you know. And being an educator, you made a difference, I know, in every life that you've touched. And you've made a difference for those in your small group. And you're just an amazing person, and I love you. And I'm so glad you're part of my life. And I rejoice with you in this new adventure you're undertaking.
Thank you. Dana's an educator too. We share lots of joys and tears.
Would you like to say something? Yes, you would. Okay.
Hi, I'm John Schwartz, and I worked under Margie for several years at Garrison. And I'd like to share a couple of things. I'm more comfortable speaking in front of children than I am adults. Let's see, what can I say about Margie? Just a couple quick stories that I think you might. One of the things that I liked about Margie working under her was that she had very high standards for everybody, including her staff. Which I'm sure there's people here who've been teaching for twice as long as I have. But I've been teaching for 15 years, and I've traveled a lot, so I've worked under a lot of different principals. And not everybody has the fortitude when they're an administrator to tell everybody on the staff. And the ability to say it in a diplomatic way that they have high expectations. And I knew this was to be the case when I showed up at Garrison, and somebody who had worked there for, I'm sure, over 20 years I said, can I ask you a question? She goes, no, I can't, I'm late to bus duty. She was like, Margie will not be happy if I'm late. I was like, whoa, I like when you're working underneath somebody and they have enough fortitude to call the shots. It makes it easier for everybody who's working there. They take the onus on of being the person responsible, and the buck stopped with Margie. And especially in the climate that's education right now, there's so much pressure to do what, the pressure comes down from the very top levels, not just from the district, from the state, from the country and everything. And Margie didn't let that affect her job. And she always had high expectations for everybody. And I will translate that into one real quick story. In the beginning of the year, I was doing some video editing, and I had this 4-5 combo. 39 kids coming out. It was like Grand Central Station. So I had this video editing thing going on, and I just had a couple students make some real quick nonsensical noises, and I put it on my iPhone, sent it to myself via email, and then I edited it all together. Well, this was like the first week of the year. So Margie came in, and I had 3 of these clips that were on purpose not supposed to have anything to do with each other, and they sure weren't academically related, other than the fact that it was a technology lesson, and I was showing them how to import something into the timeline in video editing. And so I'm doing these things, and I've got the transition, and they've got these silly Batman transitions, but again, it was a tech lesson to show the kids how to do this. And as soon as this is going on, I say, okay, press play, so the kids can all get a laugh at it, but also understand the lesson behind it. As soon as I do that, I look around, and Margie walked in for the first time with her principal's thing like that. And so she calls me in and she said, I'm not really sure what to say. Was there an academic point? And so, it's funny because what I came to know about Margie was, in addition to the fact that she's got very high academic standards, that there's no greater supporter of the arts and education. And she touched my life hugely. What I'm doing with my life right now is a direct result of me working under Margie and her believing that, that the visual performing arts are the way to not just the soul, but to the mind. So it's just been a real blessing for me to work with you and know you and under you, and I actually hope to continue our relationship in a lot of ways. Thank you.
As you do, don't go away. I have to tell you a little bit about John. One of the most difficult things about starting a new program as an arts-centered school was the fact that I was not able to select my teachers. So whatever teachers I had on the staff were the teachers I had to work with. It's not like the children who walk into your classroom and that's what you work with. So John came on board, and you're right, I did walk in that day, but I have to tell you what I was thinking in my mind was, hot damn, this is good! I was just awesome. I was looking at this thinking, oh, wow, there's a future here. There is something that's going to go on, and this is going to be dynamite. And then as he started teaching the children to do video editing, and he was teaching them to do blogging, and then to
Blues band.
Well, I'm getting to that. But that was the first year. This was the first year, and he took some of our most unusual, difficult students, who probably would have been pigeonholed into a negative environment normally because they just didn't fit in a regular classroom. And John took those kids, loved them to goodness, absolutely loved them to goodness, saw their strengths immediately, taught to their strengths, and gave them the most unbelievable education that anybody could ever give a 4th and 5th grader. Those kids were flying. They developed self-confidence that they never, ever had all the years after that. And it wasn't because they had poor teachers. I'm not meaning that at all. But he was just able to, through the music and through the technology, able to find what they needed. And he just has a knack for that. He just knows how to do it. And you can't teach that. There's nothing in teacher school that tells you how to do that. That's all intuitive. And then the next year, we put you in 1st grade, right? So we went from a 4 or 5 combination down to 1st grade. Now, I thought he would panic, because I know I would have.
You did.
And I did. but John says, oh yeah, I've done that. I said, really? I mean, you can go from teaching kids Photoshop and blogging and all this in 4th and 5th grade. In my head, I couldn't see how he was going to translate that to the 1st grade classroom. Oh my gosh. He got his guitar out and away we went. He developed the 1st grade blues band, and they've played all over the county. And it just really shows the kids what they can do and gives them that confidence to get on stage. Really one of the most amazing educators I've ever known. And you're not afraid to go out where people haven't been before.
Well, thanks, but wrapping this up to you.
Well, I just want you to know I appreciate you.
That was my probably 13th year in education. I hadn't done any of that at any of the schools that I'd been at before because it wasn't looked upon favorably by the administration. That's not a bang against anybody else, but it takes somebody who's calling the shots to say this is what we want. So my hats are off to you. Love you.
No, I love you.
Maybe. Ahora Bruno, habla dando.
I guess by your silence, you all just want to have dessert. Oh, you're gonna. Oh, good. All right. Don't be slow putting your
Our
hands
neighbor
up.
Jim.
I'd like to say to both Chris and Margie, you guys have been absolutely fabulous neighbors. And most of all, you've been absolutely great friends. Funny, you know, really struggling to grow. And I say sincerely mean that. I mean, great. Not only great neighbor, but great.
Thank you. Well, we feel the same.
Jim and I are not only next door neighbors, but we discovered we were, I mean, stand up here, Jim.
Twins separated at birth.
We were born on not only the same date, but on the same day.
Oh.
But he's 2 hours older than me than you can really tell.
But he's 20 years more mature. I'm still a child. My wife will tell you.
And you know how you really begin to appreciate people is when you work with them and you struggle with them and you go through tough stuff with them. I mean, that's what friendship is all about, is we support each other. And Jim, when we gutted this house and started all over again, Jim and I laid tile together. Jim and I did drywall together.
And Irene.
And Irene too. Yes, Gira did that. And I just remember all three of us just being covered with
Mighty
drywall
dust.
dust, looking at each other like ghosts, thinking, what are we doing?
I do have to say one thing. How long have we known each other?
20 years or
20
so.
years.
Yeah.
And in 20 years, I've only seen her unhappy once. And it was cutting tile in the kitchen. I put up some plastic deal and it fell down, and I didn't pay attention. And I got all this tile dust. She comes home from work, and the house is filled with dust.
Almost killed him.
I saw her like this. In the 20 years, that's the only time I've ever seen a frown on her face. Oh boy.
You don't know how lucky you are to be alive.
I know. I actually leaped across the creek to get home.
That's too funny.
We did that. So glad.
And Juanita's retired too, so now
on the run.
this is trouble.
We got people, now we have somebody to play with.
That's right.
Well, Margie, you know, like Jim said, we've known each other for a long time, and you've got some very admirable qualities. I've noticed them just from the time I met you, and you're still going on and on. You're inventing new ones, you know? And there's not really, there's not enough time to be able to say all of the good things that the nice person that you are.
I'll save it for my eulogy.
And I have well, I'm gonna tell you why you're alive. I like telling people things while they're alive, but not while they're gone, you know. But anyway, and I have a lot of admiration for you. I'm really glad that we had this opportunity to share this with you, and you definitely deserve this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm very happy for you.
You guys. Even you.
I should have brought that up.
Yeah, right. But what the rest of the story is that we were having a party that night. That's the rest of the story.
And people wondered, what, Jim, did you have your hair curled? No, lumps on my skull that made my hair look
Oh, goodness.
Well, anybody else?
Well, what I know
I
about
know
Margie.
Margie's been,
Go ahead.
I know Margie's been looking forward to this date. Richard has, and actually I have been too, because Margie and I have had a lot of fun together doing piano, organ and stuff, and we would do more if we had time. So
Now we
we've
do.
talked about some creative things to do together, and I would be at home working or something, and I think, oh, wow, Margie, that's something Margie and I could, oh, she's still working. Oh, you know, so things like that would happen. So I am very excited that you are going to have some time and space to do some other things.
Thank you. And I'm excited to do it with you.
Yeah, thank you. And we're excited to hear.
Well, what I know about Margie is that her loving, open heart really touched us the very first moment that we met her. We were new to the Oceanside Unified School District, and we were on our way out. We were going to go to Vista, and Garrison was our last ditch effort. We were down at the district office, and we saw a flyer that said Garrison Baptist School. And we decided to go and give it a try. And we walked on campus, and Margie was in a meeting, and we actually met Diane Stecker then the door opened and there was Margie. And the love and the acceptance and just the caring nature exuded out of her. And we knew that we had found our spot. And we knew that we were welcome. And from that day to this day, we are true and fast friends. And I would do anything for Margie, as she has done everything for us. And I am just truly blessed to call you my friend and our friend. And I'm saddened that it's only been 5 years. We haven't had the opportunity to know you and love you and Richard for longer than that, but this has been truly a blessed 5 years for us. I really appreciate that.
And it was the springboard for Tyler and Margie.
Was it?
Yeah, two very successful 8th and 9th grade children.
And Mr. Tralala was a great part of that too.
Yes, there's 3 of you. And Diane.
Since you mentioned my name, I'm gonna have to tell some stories.
Oh, dear.
I want to introduce this man. This is Stephen. Come up here. This is Stephen Traugh, Traugh, but his name tag says Tralala, because the children call him Mr. Traugh. So, Stephen.
Well, I can tell you why visual and performing arts schools are difficult for people. Because it's like putting on a Broadway musical 7 days a week. And we're writing the script and revising. I can't tell you how many times Margie has called me the night before. Said, Steve, we have to change this, or we have to change that, we're going to do this, or can you come down and we're going to work on the microphones for this, or do that, because when you integrate the arts and everything, it's show what you know, show what you know, show what you know. It's performance, 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 performance. If you know anything about performance, you know, have you ever seen backstage stuff about shows, where you're fixing the prop here and doing this kind of stuff, and we put on I don't know how many things. We've done together, concerts this and concerts that, and this breaks down, we're doing this. So I call her last minute Margie. If we got it done a week early,
That we would redo it anyway.
we'd have to do it. So I've been the music teacher at Garrison for a long time, and because of her vision and Richard's support, we were able to actually give music preschool all the way to the 5th grade. Every kid in the school, regardless of challenges, learning disabilities, autistic kids, everybody got music. And it was a dream come true for both of us.
It was.
Dream come true. And it was one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life. And we were a team.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
still are a team.
We
But
still are.
I don't know how many people get to work with a principal who's a professional musician at the same time, who understands what it's like to put on a show, who understands the relationship between math and music, the relationship between vocabulary acquisition from Spanish to English, and lyrics of songs. Somebody I could go in and talk to about the work I've been doing and have her get it right away. So, I get attention for doing things all the time, but it's really because of I really wanted to do this today. I'm gonna miss her.
But I'm still available. Not too long ago, Stephen and I did a fun little thing that I did with my first graders called the Three Penny Opera. Some of you have seen those. Piggy, yeah. Yes, Three Piggy Opera. Well, anyway, we just had the most fun on a Sunday afternoon. I don't know when I've had as much fun as we did recording that silly little thing. It was just one of the most exciting little things big things. I mean, it was. I went away from that thinking, oh my gosh, it all comes together, the friendship and the experience and the love of the art and the
I
nuances.
have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway, it's been a lot of fun. And I want to say something.
She wanted her kids to sing to this tape. She's going to put on an opera. That's first graders, right? And the tape was god awful. It was terrible. So I said, well, let's just go record it in my recording studio. You play, and we'll do it. And I had a fancy keyboards, we could do organs and
Oh, yeah.
calliopes, anything we wanted to. So we went through and did this whole opera, and she played, and I recorded it, and we had a ball doing it. It's one of the most fun things. I mean, how many times can you do that for kids with principal and a teacher, and we get together and do this? So this is what can be if you are willing to put the resources together. So it's been a truly magical experience for soulmates.
And I feel that way about each and every of the Garrison teachers as well. They are just an incredible group of people to work with. I never heard no. No was not in the Garrison teacher vocabulary. It's like, how do we get it done? We'll figure it out. Put it together. So that sense of teamwork is still, I mean, we still are friends. It was impossible to be there for that long and not be friends and have the respect. So I was so blessed. And I have to say something about Brian. Brian became our first really effective PTO president. Brian had vision and ideas and love of the arts and energy. And between Steve and Tra during the day and you with all your energy with PTO, I feel like I was being, lifted up. And
She came home to me like a little kid had been eating candy all day.
yeah, I crashed. But when things got the most difficult for me with many of you know the whole story, which I don't need to go into, but Brian was my close confidant. Stephen was my close confidant. And for a principal to have teachers and parents who you can feel are close enough friends that you can tell all, that you can tell what's really going on and know that it's safe and that they understand. It's that they've just understood. And Di's always been a very close confidant of mine at work. And I don't know how many principals have ever had the opportunity to feel like they had people on their staff that they would consider their closest friends and closest confidants. So I was never as lonely as many of my colleagues were because of my friends. And I thank you for that. It's just been awesome.
We are gonna have dessert, and I want you to turn your chair.
All right.
No, ups,
What? Okay.
this way,
Okay.
and I will
You'll be turning off the lights and I'll start setting up.
turn off some lights.
Oh my.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh dear, what can the matter be?
Oh, here we come.
There is a switch on the wall.
Hey, you're not in the greatest spot right there. How about you sit down lower? Your mommy can't see anything. There you go. Yep, that's a good spot right there. Perfect.
You know what's coming? Maybe.
It has something to do with
Oh,
your
yeah.
You do live here, right?
I think this is the
Oh, my
floor show. I don't know.
Pesadilla. That's why
They don't have the clappers.
The neighbors. see all the lights go off.
They'll think it's a really weird party.
I hope this is working.
Marcy fell off the edge.
Again.
Yeah.
You know, we could probably tell stories like that.
I know you could. I'm so glad you didn't.
You say a lot.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Ooh, a black strawberry.
Ladies and gentlemen, in recognition of her years of selfless dedication to the calling of educator, for the young lives she has touched and profoundly influenced in so many ways, for her achievements par excellence, we celebrate Margie Oliver.
I'm afraid so.
Mira cómo sube.
It's you!
I know, that was good. A la mía que se ve. Oh my.
Remember the movie when they talked about le kick? This is the new definition of le kick. And this is all Paul's doing.
I'm sad to report that it didn't work properly. There should be lights here and I forgot to plug them in. And I have a checklist, can you believe?
Will it run again without blowing the can? The cannon is lit. Will it run again?
Strawberries will start flying.
The light, you can't plug the light in.
The yes I can if I can get it in there. The Phantom actually plays the organ, Margie. I did it specially for you anyway.
Oh, make it happen. Make it happen.
Okay, Tom, where's your light?
Oh, flashlight?
Yeah, or just turn these lights on there.
Yeah. I think that is going to help. He's a technician, actually. He's certified and trained, so.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
Strawberry. Itana said that that's a strawberry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it is a strawberry.
Did you all meet my granddaughter Itana?
At mine.
I believe you did. And my grandson Jake. And my grandson Nick,
Who's currently having an allergy attack.
who's currently having an allergy attack.
Aw.
And my granddaughter Masha, who's currently asleep.
Her last name is Sleeper.
You know, we should introduce our kids. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll take the heat off of you and I'll introduce our kids. Derek
No, myself.
and his brand new bride, Amanda. Very excited. I was telling Derek that 2013 was a real banner year for him. He did more things in 2013 than most people will do in 10 years. Let's see, he finished law school, took the bar, passed the bar, got a job, and got married, and is having a baby.
Margie only had one.
right? You're retired, you know how to get up there, right?
Yeah, I do.
You've got time?
Now that I have time, I'll be with the nanny, right?
And Margie only had one Christmas wish, and it has been the last couple of months. I only had one thing for Christmas, and that would be that Derek and Amanda would get married. So we got our wish.
And I even tried to set it up with no avail, but they'd already done it.
You already took care of that.
Yeah, I was meddling. I was the meddling mom. Anyway, David and Noe, where's Noe? Oh.
This side, right here. Highlights.
They've come home from Spain, and we're so excited that they are home, and thank you for being here, David and Noe. And they are the parents of Aitana, 3-year-old.
She's right there.
Glitter girl.
Right there. And the mother and father of Jake and Nick are, there's mom, where's dad? Right there, there's dad. They live in Oceanside, and so I already have pickup duty assigned to me for at least 3 days this month.
I think it's 3 days this week, actually.
Does that mean your toenail's gonna get better looking every week?
She's gonna be teaching you how to use Google Calendar.
Yes.
Yeah. And Ira came from Baltimore. Thank you, baby. That was so sweet. So wonderful. Oh, I hate having our kids so far away. The only one who couldn't come tonight was Chris and Simona and Rachel. They were here for Thanksgiving, or for Christmas. And Noel, yeah. Okay, did I vamp long enough?
Yeah, you did wonderful.
Okay.
Excellent. Oh, all right. Well, this will be a take 2, but it'll be minus the cannons and the flashes. But anyway, you get the idea of what it was supposed to look like.
Aitana, go sit with Oma. Aitana, go sit with Oma. It's okay. She doesn't like it. Aitana, come here, pretty girl. No, I don't like it, she said.
I never put it together.
Loud.
Loud.
Loud. Loud.
Ladies and gentlemen, in recognition of her years of selfless dedication to the noble calling of educator, for the young lives she has touched and profoundly influenced in so many ways, for her achievements par excellence, we celebrate Margie Oliver.
Round 2.
They're playing that just for you. Margie. It's you.
kind of in there crying.
Is that what I look like, Paul? Oh, gosh. What do you think? Gray hair and all. Oh, that's incredible. Thank you, Paul. Oh, goodness.
They should have videotaped it.
The cake is actually edible.
Oh.
There's some video cake.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I don't think I've ever seen any